The weirdest turn in my life was going into television. I was a print reporter. I worked at magazines, newspapers, and I expected to be a print guy for the rest of my life. And one day, during the 2000 election, CNN asked me to come in and host a special. I'd never hosted anything before in my entire life. I'd never read a teleprompter. I didn't really know how TV worked. And I did it anyway, because why not? And literally the next day they offered me a job as a full-time TV host. And something I'd never considered, never wanted, certainly never strived toward. And I did it. And I'm glad I did, because it turned out to be the weirdest, most interesting job I'd ever had. I'm not very self-aware, so it's hard to know what the most surprising thing is about me, since, of course, I know most things about me already. I have 4 children. I got married at 22. That's not a normal thing in the neighborhood I live in. I married my high school girlfriend, who I dated continuously from the first day of 10th grade until today. I'm now 41. She was the headmaster's daughter of the high school I went to. And I successfully convinced her to date me despite parental opposition, something I'm very proud of to this day. I don't know if that's surprising or not, but I've enjoyed it. For relaxation, I have 4 children and 3 dogs and 2 guinea pigs. So that provides a lot of relaxation and amusement and pleasure for me. There's always someone to play with at my house. It's not a quiet house. But in those quiet moments, if I get to sneak away, I like to fly fish intensely. I live over the Potomac River in Washington, so I'll sneak down there and fly fish on the Potomac. I also fish in Maine and lots of other places. I like to fish a lot. And then I read a lot. I read most of the day. So my primary pleasure, apart from children and fishing, has always been reading. I don't watch television, to be completely honest with you, ever, really. I think I get a lot of TV in my day-to-day life, just hanging around TV studios and green rooms, and I'm pretty much sated. So I probably haven't watched an entire TV show, I don't know, in a number of years. In fact, I think I've only watched one. And I can say I have watched one TV show from beginning to end in the past 2 years, and it was something called The Biggest Loser. And one of my kids put it on for me, and I thought it was the most compelling thing I've ever seen in my life. I was riveted. I guess it's a popular show. I didn't know too much about it, but I found it amazing. I haven't watched it again. This was a couple months ago, but I plan to. I wish I could know what my dogs are thinking. If I had 3 wishes, that would definitely be one of them. I wish I could teach my kids at home. I wish I had done that, but I didn't. I wish I could get the people I interview to answer the question honestly. That's a pretty tough thing in my business, getting people to give you an answer that isn't just children are our future. To get past the cliches, it's a great frustration. So if I had 3 wishes, that's what they'd be. I went into journalism because that's what my dad did, and I'm glad I did. But if I hadn't become a journalist, I'd probably be a history professor. I like history a lot. That was kind of my plan, was to teach history, or join the operations side at CIA and go live in some interesting country and see interesting things.